There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Robert from Jobs180.com, and welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live. Now, this session is done for and in coordination with Holy Angel University. Before we proceed, I would like to invite everyone to join us in prayer.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
Good afternoon again, and thank you everyone for coming. We would like to thank in advance the companies that will be presenting later. Also, we would like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for this event. Get the latest fashion trends for your corporate attire needs. Check out CEO Store in Lazada and Shopee or at the nearest mall in your area. For career opportunities, visit jobs180.com/CEO Group. And of course, syempre, mas important, I guess na, mag-thank you kami sa inyong school to Holy Angel University. If it were not for our coordination with them, then ang back and forth na communication, di natin magagawa itong event natin right now. And with that, we would like to have someone share to you the welcoming remarks. We have a representative from your school to give the welcoming remarks to open this program. We have Miss Anne Marie Bennett Sadora, your head for career and placement. Good afternoon, Miss Bennett.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sir Robert.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And hi, sir. So, good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Angelites. It's nice to see all of you, despite that we don't have the face-to-face activity. Still, we are doing our best to provide you with all the activities we have, like this first activity, the online professional development workshop. I can say that this year's batch are the very impressive and eager batch or group. Each one of you has shown how eager and dedicated you are in adapting to the situation, and I can say that you are successfully surpassed the challenges and made most of the opportunities you have been given. Your accomplishments are not easily summarized by getting a high grade. Yes, there is overwhelming evidence of how smart you are, but we also want to develop your work ethics, your imagination, and your potential. And most important is we want to develop your personality as a professional. We continue to conduct all the activities for our graduating students because we want you, our graduates, to be prepared as you enter the world of professionals months from now. And we want you to be competent when you apply for the job, especially in this new world, or let me say the now normal setting. By next week, you will have your next activity, which is your online mock job interview. And this is a one-on-one online interview with our linkage partners. And lastly will be your job fair, and that will happen by May. This pandemic has changed lifestyles drastically. Your talent and flexibility will allow you to create real impact as the world emerges from the crisis. While keeping that foremost in our thoughts, we can continue to work together, remain determined, and move towards a better tomorrow. Let me take this opportunity to thank Mr. Kim Chua and his team from Jobs180.com, our forever partner during this season for our graduating students. Thank you for the unending support. So we'll ask all our Angelites to listen carefully to our speaker. Thank you very much, Laos Deo Sempre.
Thank you, Ma'am Bennett. Thank you for giving the opening remarks. Kami naman sa Jobs 180, we are very glad that we are still able to partner with you given the situation, and we look forward na patuloy pa ang ating partnership moving forward. Okay, so just a few announcements before we begin to our viewers. First of all, please comment the following dyan sa inyong comment box. Please comment your name, course, and the year of your graduation. So, if graduate na, kailan kayo graduate, and if hindi pa, kailan kayo graduate. And use the same comment box for the question and answer program. So for each topic, we will be having 3 topics. Each topic meron tayong Q&A shortly after. So type nyo lang dyan sa comment box ang inyong mga questions. Okay, so now I would like to show to you yung 3 topics that I was mentioning. So first topic is the resume link, and we will have someone from jobs180.com to give the talk. Next, virtual interviews, and then someone from CDO Food Sphere. And last, tips on marketing your skills or your new business. And then we will have someone from VXI Global to give the talk. So again, after each topic, may Q&A tayo before proceeding to the next. Okay, so I think now we could move on to our first topic. So our first topic will have the following speaker. To introduce the speaker, he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 colleges and universities nationwide, let's all turn our attention to the presentation of the Managing Director of Jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No? Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, ito ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. This should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo, gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos, o kaya Santos J, o kaya JS, o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? you go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-log in. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating pa sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang tourism at pang HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing, dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, kasi mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito, kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, 'di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, 'di ba? Certificate, diploma, 'yan, ebidensya 'yan, okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, 'di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course, wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng mga ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kayang-kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Ina sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologies, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member ng Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo atensyon, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets yung maibig ko sabihin. Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real-time. As in real-time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that details are still at information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik, hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year, ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun, okay? Another practical application, when you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na pala sa HR. Nakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cellphone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now. But these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number one, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Sir Kim's presentation on the resume link. So we will now have the Q&A. So to our viewers, once again, pwede kayo mag-comment dyan ng inyong questions para kay Sir Kim and as well as ang ating speakers later. So Sir Kim, while we're waiting para dun sa ating mga viewers to ask their questions, I would just like to ask, regarding dun sa valid email, you were mentioning earlier, use a valid email, wag Facebook. Facebook's not a valid email. Question ko is, what about using their school email? Since I guess ma-verify din naman nila kahit using school email. Anong masasabi niyo about this?
Okay, thank you, Sir Robert, for that reminder. If ever lang, those who are listening right now, you use the school official email to register, you will be able to definitely validate and go through pa rin the process. Now, just a reminder, ako remind ko po na kung ginamit nyo po yung school email ninyo sa pag-register, after you're done with the confirmation and verification, paki-change na po siya to your personal email. The reason why is because sooner or later you will graduate from your school, from your alma mater, for sure, no? And baka lang po na pag kayo ay graduate na, hindi niyo na po na i-edit yung inyo pong email address. So ang mangyayari po niyan, hindi niyo na po makukuha or ma-receive yung mga pinapadala sa inyo ng mga notifications coming from Jobs 180 as well as from other companies that will be inviting you. So I recommend para hindi niyo na yon kumbaga unnecessary worries lang yan later on no. So kung hindi pa naman kayo nakakagamit ng school email niyo to register, better use your personal email. Better, no? Na kung sakali nagamit niyo na yung school email niyo at gino through na yung process sa pag-register po ng inyong resume link, it's okay. Just make sure lang to edit it, change it to your personal email, no? Para lang po later on hindi niyo na kailangan isipin pa or alalahanin pa na kailangan yung palitan yung email address na yan. Okay? So that you can receive the continuous invitation, no, coming from the system. Yun po.
Okay, thank you, Sir Kim. So that's the recommendation para sa ating mga viewers regarding sa paggamit ng personal and school email. Okay. Sir Kim, regarding dun sa real-time update ng mga companies na nabibigyan silang real-time update kapag ina-update yung resume link. Mana-notify ba sila if ever na in-update ni user ang kanilang resume link?
Sa pag-update po ng information, since real-time siya, definitely ang impact niyan ay nasa employer side. No, when I say employer, no, for everyone's common knowledge, ang sabing employer, ito po yung mga companies or HR as we call them na lang, no, these companies or they are the employers. So tayo po yung aplikante or employees eventually. So ano mangyayari? Every time you will update your information, hindi naman ito ibig sabihin piniping natin ng message yung HR na nag-update ka ng isang letra, example sa account mo, nagpalit ka ng phone number or nagpalit ka ng address, so every time kinukulit natin yung HR. Hindi naman po ganun yung ibig sabihin na pag ina-update sila. Ang maganda dito kasi I'm speaking as an HR, ang ginagawa namin is when we try to search for applicants, normally sinesearch natin dito yung last updated within a given time period. So I'll give an example. So if I have a lot of applicants right now, probably the first thing and most logical thing to do is to search or to sort it ng last updated within the shorter possible time. So halimbawa, last updated within 1 week or last updated within 2 weeks or last updated within 30 days. O, ayan, di ba? So, yan yung una kong gagawin. Tapos, yun ang una ko ngayon titignan at una ko ipaprocess. Di ba? So, kaya ko po nire-remind kayo parate sa mga nakikinig po, huwag kayo magsasawang mag-update na information ninyo. Okay? na kung ano yung pinaka example, you change some information, nagkaroon kayo ng mga ibang career or ibang development sa skill nyo, update nyo lang. Wala naman pong bayad mag-update no? Libre naman yan. So update na update. And then that's a good thing, no? Every time na may mga naghahanap po ng profile ninyo, mabilis na nila masusort or ma-match yung profile po ninyo. And that's to answer the question of Sir Robert, hindi natin babahain ng kakulitan sa kaka-update natin. Baka sabihin ng HR, ano ba tong tao to, update. Hindi siya ganun. We did not design the system that way. No? Kung hindi, ginawa natin siya mas efficient. Basta update lang kayo on your end, and definitely it will be easier on the employer side, on the company side, no, for the HR to process yung information ninyo.
Okay, thank you, Sir Kim. I think you were able to answer the question well. So that's something to keep in mind sa ating mga viewers. Hindi nyo rin kailangan na mapraning na baka nakukulitan si company. Baka sabihin mo, ay, wag ako mag-update ng mga update. Hindi, you could do it as often as you like. Basta naging nga, sabi ni Sir Kim, as long as there's relevant information na magbago. So, kung typo man, ulit-ulitin nyo lang yan hanggang sa makuha nyo ng tama.
Tama.
Okay, I think that's it for our Q&A, Sir Kim. So, thank you very much for joining us dito sa webinar to answer
Thank you rin po. Thank you, Sir Robert, and be safe, everyone. Kung masakali lang may tanong pa kayo, just send your message through the information that I shared earlier, no, sa info@jobs180.com or sa Facebook, and our team will be able to address that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, dagdag ko lang, ulitin ko rin yung sinabi ni Sir Kim that you could look at his slide earlier regarding yung contact details ng jobs180.com, because this video, although streamed live, will also be saved dito sa aming Facebook page, pati dun sa YouTube page namin where this is shown. So, pwede nyo balikan nga yung slide ni Sir Kim on how to reach us. Number one is, most common is dito sa Facebook. Message nyo lang kami through Messenger or email dun sa info@jobs180.com. Okay, so that's our first topic. We could now move on to our second topic out of 3. Now, this topic, as mentioned earlier, is about interview tips. So, to introduce our speaker, Kathy is a graduate of BA Behavioral Sciences from UP Manila. She's been with CDO Food Sphere Incorporated for almost 4 years now. Currently, she is a supervisor in HR recruitment. Let's welcome the recruitment supervisor of CDO Food Sphere, Ms. Kathy Claire Velasquez.
Hi, good afternoon,
Hello,
Robert.
Hi, nice to
Hi
see you
again.
Yes. So I think you know now how we do this.
All right, let me just share my screen.
Sige pa. So Miss Casey will just be sharing her screen, and then she will go on sa kanyang presentation. Once again, dun sa ating mga viewers, you could ask your questions dyan sa comment box. Sasagutin siya ni Miss Casey after niyang kanyang presentation.
Yes,
Okay,
correct,
so
Robert.
Miss Casey, I could now see your screen. Naka-full screen na, your video's fine, audio's fine. You could now start. I'll be backstage. Balik na lang ako for our
Great. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Holy Angel University. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. And so again, my name is Kathy Claire Velasquez. I prefer to be called Casey, Ma'am Casey, and I'm a recruiter from CDO Food Sphere. So my topic for today's session is giving you tips in acing online job interviews. I'll be also sharing later some ways on how to answer basic questions. And so to start with my presentation, I know most of you students are now excited to graduate and land a successful job. And however, before landing that dream job, you'll need to prepare several things for the job interview. Right. So interviews are your chance to sell your skills and abilities. And this is also a chance to find out if the job and the company are right for you. So I have here few interview tips on how to prepare for virtual interviews. Right. Okay. So tip number 1 is the most basic tip. Research. So do research the company before the interview and the position you're applying for. And during these interviews, this is important for us, the employers or the HR, for us to know how interested you are in applying in our company. This is being manifested on how well you know our company, our products, and services offered. We have just to share, we have quite few experiences lang during interviews, initial interviews. When asked, how do you know the company, or what makes you interested in joining the company, parang they would answer, "Ma'am, I've known CDO because of your product." Then I would explore by asking another question. Could you share some of your favorite brands or products or favorite food for breakfast? And naalala ko, sabi niya, "Ma'am, my favorite is a brand of our competitors po." So that is an automatic minus point for the applicant for obvious reason. Then, tip number two would be answer questions using experience. So, rather than giving hypothetical answers, like if that happens to me, ma'am, I think I will do this, I will do that. Instead, give answers that, for example, I can relate that scenario on a project that I have worked on during college, or on extracurricular activities that you're part of. So in that way, we can assess you better how you handle certain situations. Tip number three, give your full attention during your interviews. Since you're at home, make sure you find the most conducive place to have your online interview, and also inform your family members that you'll have a scheduled interview to avoid them having you distracted in the middle of the call. So other types of distractions may be barks of your pet, pwede ring umiiyak yung kapatid mo, or yung sound from the television. Right. Then, so bakit kailangan natin maging aware of the distractions, or possible distractions? Because this may greatly affect your interview, because your answer may be as well be greatly affected, no? Also, yung mag interview din, baka din mabother sila with those noises from your background. Tip number four is to provide honest answers. So recruiters are trained to detect if you are telling the truth or lying. So better to answer honestly. This way, we also can endorse you to a role that will fit your background or interests better. From my experience, just to share with you, on my initial interview with CDO, I was being profiled for a training role. However, I greatly believe that I am more fit, or I wanted to start my career in the recruitment department. So during the initial, I really tell the interviewer that I would like to be profiled for the recruitment section. Yun. So, after, syempre, I was not shortlisted for the training role. However, after a couple of weeks, they contacted me again, and then sabi nila na may opening na for recruitment position. So, yun. Thank God, nabigyan ako ng opportunity, and yan, I'm currently on my 4 years now in CDO. Okay. Next is tip number 5, be presentable. So, avoid using your pajamas, wearing your pajamas. Wear a blouse or a collared shirt. This is a way of telling the interviewer that you prepared for the meeting. And this goes as well with your environment. So, make sure to clean the area that can be seen in the video, kahit hindi naman lahat, hindi buong bahay. Yung area that can be seen lang. Because this would give you also a good impression that you are organized. Tip number 6, be on time. Actually, dapat be earlier, no? So, early to give you enough time to check if your audio, your video, or internet connection are all working prior to the call. So, also, a good advice then would be to start exploring now, or familiarize yourself with different platforms to use. So, sinasabi naman namin siya kapag you'll be scheduled na kindly please download kunwari Google Meet, Zoom, or Skype, kung ano man yung gagamitin for that online interviews. Kasi nakaka-encounter ako on the scheduled time, wala pa yung applicant, yun pala, dina-download pa lang, or paano daw ba gamitin yung Google Meet, for example. Ganon. Next, I wanted to also share some quick tips on dressing up for the online interview. So, tip number 1 is don't wear pajamas or leggings. So, ito, para lang ulitin. For two reasons. Bakit kaya, no? Number one would be psychological factor or reason to put you on the right frame of mind. So, para din ma-prepare na rin yung self natin that will be having your online interview. So, might as well really prepare for it. Then, second reason would be for cautionary reasons, no? So, hindi natin alam ang mangyayari all throughout the interview. Possible na bumagsak yung laptop or yung smartphone na gamit, makita yung suot natin pambaba, it's pajama. So, parang it's a bad impression. Tip number two is avoid wearing stripes or busy patterns, yung mga madaming designs, because this can create a distortion during your on the screen, and this may distract the interviewer. So, when in doubt, ano ba mga dapat suotin, you may always stick on solid colors. Tip number three, be cautious with makeup. So for the female, or kahit sa lahat naman po, no, be cautious lang with makeup. So possible naman mag-wear ng makeup as long as hindi naman mag-over po, no, hanggang sa hindi ka na makilala ng interviewer. This is far less important than your overall grooming. So, basta maayos yung presentable, as I mentioned. So, magsuklay ng buhok, syempre maligo. And my last tip would be wear your best smile. So, this would create a good impression then during the initial interview or online interview. Now, let us move on how to answer basic interview questions. So, ano-ano ba yung mga common interview questions? Yung mga gas-gas questions, no? Yung tell me about yourself, yung mga why do you want to work in this company, or why should we hire you, ano yung strengths mo, ano yung weaknesses mo, and so on. So, dadaanan natin siya isa-isa. Right. So, these frequently asked questions touch on the essentials hiring managers want to know about every candidate. So, three reasons would be who you are, why you are fit for the job, and what you are good at. This may this may not be the exact questions, but if you have the answers in mind, you'll be prepared for just anything the interviewer will throws your way. So, yan. Number one would be tell me about yourself. So, this is a simple questions but very crucial for the interviewers. So, don't give your complete employment or history. Instead, give a concise answer that shows your personality, something that's interesting about you, and yung hindi na nakasulat sa resume mo, and why you are fit for the job. So, just to give you an example, hi, I'm Casey. I just graduated with a degree in behavioral sciences 2 months ago. And I pursued that field of study because I have always been interested on understanding people and how social relationships work. While looking for a job, I have been busy with volunteering in our church activities, and I am interested to be part of your organization because I can relate to the company's core values, and I believe I can impart something to CDO Foods Fair. Right. Number two, why do you want to work at this company? So, beware of generic answers. Yan, very common yan. Sa mga na-interview ko, lagi nilang sagot kasi kilala yung company, kasi malaki, and so on. Some would say, I've heard you offer a good benefits. Sabi ko, saan niyo po nalaman? Sabi nila, nabasa ko lang po or sabi-sabi lang po. Yun. So, hindi rin nila alam yung benefits ni CDO Foods Fair. Then, I believe this company can give me a great work experience. So, very generic siya. So, in answering these, a quick advice would be, balik tayo sa tip number one kanina, is do your research. Then, point to something that makes the company unique, that really appeals to you. For example, I want to join CDO or in your company because I can relate with your vision and mission statements. I have always been interested to companies that give importance to their employees and also gives back to communities. So I learned you have a nonprofit organization that supports individuals who are in need. Yeah. Tip number three would be why should we hire you? This question seems too forward and intimidating for some, lalo na kung fresh graduate, ano ba yung may offer natin, no? But if asked, this is your chance to sell yourself and your skills. For example, um, ma'am, I may lack experience and knowledge yet, but as a fresh graduate, I am very much optimistic and ready to learn and get started. So I am very much willing to grow and develop more in this position, and I believe by putting significant efforts, I can contribute something for the company. Number four, what are your greatest strengths? Or could you name some of your top three of your strengths? Yun yung mga common questions natin, no? So when answering, think of quality, not quantity. So marami kasi yan, maglilista na yan ng mga adjectives makikita sa dictionary, no? But it's important na kung ano yung sasabihin natin ay meron tayong pang back na reason bakit mo nasabi na ikaw ay magaling sa kunwari for music or in reports preparation. Yan. So when like yan. So it's very important to support it with an experiential answer. For example, you are good in leadership or time management. So kindly give an example. Like, ma'am, I believe I am good in leading people because back in college, I was elected as as a president of the student council, and I was able to spearhead many activities or programs, and they turned out successful. Or pag sa time management naman, ma'am, I think I'm good in time managing because back in college, I was a part-time worker and also a full-time student. So pwedeng I was able to manage balancing my work academics, I mean my academics and also my work activities or responsibilities. There. Question number five is, what are your weaknesses? So, interviewers ask this to identify any red flags and also to assess your self-awareness and honesty. So, ano ba yung red flags? Ito yung mga tinitingnan namin or factors na might affect your application, no? Then, so to answer this, think of something that you have struggled with but you're currently working on to improve. For example, yung mga for introverts, yung mga shy people, public speaking or sa time management, no? Ma'am, my weakness would be public speaking because yan, it might appear that I'm very shy in front of people, but currently I'm working on it by for example, practicing or be leading your church activities, Bible studies, ikaw yung nagfa-facilitate, or sa time management, nag-start ka na mag-create ng to-do list to better prioritize your day-to-day task or daily activities, no? So, yon. Mas maganda meron tayo ginagawa to improve your weaknesses stated. Number 6 would be, why are you leaving your current job? So ito para sa mga may experience na magre-resign, hahanap ng iba, no? So for this, provide honest answer and try to keep things on a positive note, no? Example is, ma'am, I've resigned to my previous employer because I'm looking for a personal and career growth and better opportunities in the field of marketing or quality assurance. Pwede kasing nursing graduate ka, na-hire ka sa financial or an auditing firm, tapos gusto mo mag-resign kasi you wanted to push through na with your nurse, being a nurse, no, to practice what you've studied. Seventh is, what motivates you? Common answer I get usually with the applicants is, what motivates me, ma'am, is my family. What's my weaknesses, ma'am, is my family. Yun. So, yung mga common natin. No? But, in answering this question, kindly try to answer it that is relevant to the role and to the company. No? For example, what motivates me, ma'am, is learning new things, having new challenges, and also a good mentorship with your company. Parang ganon. And then, reminders. Yan. So, may tulang ako, no? Number 1 is, don't feel nervous about being nervous. Most interviewers understand that applicants are nervous, especially mga fresh graduates natin. And employers want to see how you respond under pressure and not how you act like pressure doesn't exist. So, karamihan sa mga na-interview ko would be they stutter a lot or minsan tumatahimik, sobrang na mental block na sila. Yung iba naman, may isang beses lang naman naka-encounter is naiyak siya, no? So, yun na siguro yung worst case. Yun, so siguro mag-a-apply would be yung the second reminder that would be practice or improve. Interviews improve with practice, no? So for many people, the only way that they do well during interviews is by doing a lot of them. So if you're one of those people, the more interviews you have, the better para din you may look back, ano ba yung mga dapat mo pang i-improve, bakit kaya hindi ako na-hire, baka may mali akong nasasabi or baka may dapat pang i-improve on what you answer po. Ganon siya. Then, so I'd like to also take this opportunity to introduce our company to you. Baka lang hindi pa familiar si Holy Angel University, no, in CDO Food Sphere. So just to give you a brief background, CDO is a food manufacturing company based in the Philippines, and we have been in the industry for 45 years now. And trivia din, anong stands for CDO, no? CDO stands for Corazon Dairoong. That's the name of our founder. And we have manufacturing plants both here in Valenzuela and one in Malvar, Batangas. We are composed of around 5,000 employees, and we produce frozen products, meat, canned goods, dairy products, and baked goods. So mamaya makikita po natin yon. I hope you are familiar with some of our products, and let me just read some of our information about the company. Right, so a delicious story of success from a simple dream of providing delicious food for her family. The CDO story has turned into a lifelong commitment of providing Filipinos with high quality and affordable products. For the mission, we champion mealtimes and unite families through food that calls them home. We live to bring them freshness and delight of mom-made cooking that fills their hearts. And for our vision, we will be the most trusted food company, loved for how our food creations bring and bond all generations of people together. For our values po, we are passionate about customers and consumers. We have love for God. We have integrity. We are open and collaborative and innovative and entrepreneurial. So all our programs or decisions of the managements are all anchored in the values that we have. Yan yung mga products natin. So, sana meron man sa inyong familiar kahit man isa sa mga products ni CDO Food Sphere, no? So, from frozen meats, canned meats, and dairy and sweet preserves. So, mga kilala for frozen meats would be yung mga hotdog, sausages, mga hams natin, and marinated meats, yung mga tocino or longganisa and sausages. Canned meats is Highlands corned beef, carne norte, San Marino corn tuna, bottled fish, yung ating Spanish sardines, and canned mackerel. Dairy, from sliced cheese, cheese block, cheese balls to cheese spread, and sweet preserves, nandyan yung kaong and nata de coco. Then also, CDO Food Sphere has, as I mentioned kanina, no, we have a foundation called Odyssey Foundation Inc. that offers 5 different programs to the needy or individuals that are in need. So number 1 would be Gabay Nutrition. This is a supplemental feeding program. Gabay Edukasyon, Gabay Kalikasan, Gabay Hanap Buhay, and Gabay Lingkod. Next would be Road Towards Sustainability. So we have different initiatives in towards sustainability. So one, we have wastewater treatment, recycling efforts, use of solar energy, and reduction of plastic usage. I think that's it for my presentation. Please do contact us in our email address below or stated here. And Facebook page and website. Feel free also to send your resumes or resume link, as what Sir Kim mentioned earlier, to us through jobs180.com/CDO. Right? Thank you for listening and keep safe, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Casey, for your presentation. So again, to our viewers, feel free to ask your questions in the comment box. In the meantime, I'll be asking the following questions to Ms. Casey. Miss Casey, sa line of work na iba, even if the work that, for instance, one of our viewers will get does not have direct interaction with customers. Why is it important na sa interview pa lang pakita na may good communication skills sila?
Sorry, Sir Robert, could you repeat the question?
Sorry, dun sa jobs na walang direct interaction with customers, why is it
Mm.
still important for the viewers to show that they have good communication skills?
I see. All right. So, not all jobs naman would require to be in front or to have a
Mm-mm.
customer service related skills, no. But it's really important then to have a good communication because in the office-based position, you'll be also requested or required to do reports, do emails with our supervisors or even the management, and also do presentation. So, dun pa lang, it would require or makikita natin kung magaling ka ba in terms of grammar or how you send your message, anong tone yung gamit mo, rude ba or in a respective manner.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Casey. Itong next question ko is similar since, for example, sa job na makukuha ng ating viewers or mag-a-apply sila, is hindi naman strict sa pag-talk sa English all throughout. Is it okay if they ask during the interview if they can speak in Tagalog?
All right. So, to answer your question, it really differs on the company that you're applying for. No? So, back to my tip kanina, no, do research on the company before the interview. So, kung BPO yan, as much as possible, speak in English po. No?
Mm.
But in CDO Food Sphere, since we are a food manufacturing company, very much important sa amin is how you present yourself and your values din po. So, for us, okay lang naman po if ever hindi kaya or nahihirapan sa
Mhm.
English, mas maganda or mas madaling maintindihan kung magtatagalog, much better po sa amin.
Okay, so sa ibang industries tulad nga sa CDO Food Sphere, rather than pagpilit na mag-English to the point na nahirapan na kayo maintindihan, baka better nga if they ask if they could speak in Tagalog. But again, sabi
Right.
nga ni Ms. Casey, important to research first about the industry para malaman nyo kung ano yung tamang language na you would use during the interview. Okay. So, Miss Casey, I have here another question with regard naman to sa non-verbal communication since online ngayon ang mga interviews, are you still able to pick up on yung body language issues ng mga ini-interview nyo?
Medyo yun nga sabi niyo po, no, very much virtual na lahat ng processes. So, medyo na-limit din yung syempre, yung nakikita lang natin is from face lang to shoulders, no. So, may time na facial expressions and also yung tone ng voice when answering, kung kabado ba siya. Pero yung mga hand gestures or yung mga legs, hindi na natin na-evaluate. So, siguro more of focus lang kami on how you deliver the message, how do you answer the question, and also the facial expression.
Okay. So our viewers, hindi porket may distance tayo na yun nga hindi nakikita ang buong katawan ay ibig sabihin hindi na counted ang body language na tinitingnan pa rin yan pagdating sa interview. Okay. So that's one thing na dapat you still have to watch out for. We have a question here. Bakit po need pa ng HR ng printed resume kung meron naman po silang soft copy?
Okay. So, before, siguro yan, no, nung traditional par physical pa yan, no, when we do face-to-face interviews, kasi usually ang interviewers nag-take down notes din yan when we interview people or when we interview applicants. So, pag soft copy, ginagamit namin siya on pre-screening before ka papuntahin to office. Pero sa ngayon po, yan. So, siguro much better kung sa resume link or soft copies po, mas efficient na rin po to employers as well kasi we may review and conduct virtual or phone interviews.
Okay. So, to add to that, ako kasi, Miss Casey, may previous HR experience din ako. So, hawak ko nga yung resume nila. Tapos doon ako nag-notes after, halimbawa, nagtanong ako about their
Yeah.
career. Tapos
Yes.
susulat ko sa gilid. So, follow-up question. Ito, Miss Casey, galing lang sa akin. Saan na kayo nag-notes ngayon?
Meron akong separate notebook na per applicant.
Naka-separate notebook na.
Oo.
So, yun po ngayon ang ginagawa nyo ngayon. Kasi ako naman ay never umabot sa virtual interview sa aking
Okay.
HR experience. Okay, so to our viewers, baka meron pa kayong questions tulad nung natanong kanina. As you could see, much better if yung questions nyo yung matanong kay Ms. Casey. In the meantime, I would like to invite everyone once again to look into yung Jobs 180 page ni Ms. Casey sa CDO Food Sphere. It's jobs180.com/CDO. Makikita nyo yan. Nag-scroll sa baba, look at it, apply online at jobs180.com/CDO. Okay? So, I think we could move forward. Sakto po tayo sa time, Ms. Casey, na allotted to us. So, thank you very much. We hope to see you again soon and have you as a speaker again. Thank you.
Thank you again, Sir Robert. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that's it for our second topic. Last topic na po tayo. Let's move forward na. Diretso na po tayo sa last topic since our speaker's already here backstage. So I'd like to introduce our speaker. He has 4 years experience in the recruitment industry for sourcing. He handles out-of-town job fair events, job caravans, and applicant engagement activities. Currently connected with BXI Global Solutions as Talent Acquisition Officer. Let's welcome Mr. JP Galarian. Good afternoon, Sir JP. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Robert. Good afternoon. Nice to see you again too. Thank you for having me
Yes.
again. And
Of course,
VXI.
anytime po. So, bukod pa dito, sa susunod din po, kahit di ka pa tapos ngayon,
Sure.
invite ka pa sa susunod. Sige sir, so start na po tayo with your screen share.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, sige. Go ahead lang po. So while you're sharing your screen, once again, I'm inviting everyone to comment their questions dito sa comment section. And then once again, I'd like to remind everyone that this video, although streamed live, will also be saved dito nga sa aming Facebook page and sa YouTube page. Masasave yan. So if may parts sa talk ng mga ating speakers na gusto nyo balikan, look at the video na lang. I think sa slide ni Ms. Casey, slide ni Sir Kim, meron doon yung page kung saan lahat ng contact details. Sige. So, Sir JP, kamusta naman po ang ating share screen?
Yeah, I think
Any
I'm good
technical
na,
comments?
Robert.
Ay,
And-
sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm good na sa presentation. Can you...
Ay, right now, hindi pa siya nakalabas sa screen ko.
Okay, hold on. Sige, check ko.
Sige, try na lang po natin again. And then, if we would have issues, I'll try to seek help na rin from our tech team. Pero, I think kaya
Ayan.
naman natin yan, Sir JP. Kinaya naman natin before.
Yeah.
Okay, so there it is. So, I could see your screen. Pa full screen na lang siguro. Unless okay lang sa inyo na nakikita sa baba yung tabs nyo, yung icon sa baba. Wala naman po ba
No.
magpapop dyan na message?
Ayan, okay na. Sorry.
Okay lang kayo dito sa setup na ganito? Kita kasi yung toolbar nyo sa ilalim.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Wala
Sige,
naman.
basta wala pong magpa-pop up dyan na message. Huwag kayong magaya sa akin from before.
Wala
so,
naman
okay.
so far.
Okay, punta na ka backstage, sir. I'll be back for the Q&A. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Robert. Okay. So, hi everyone. Good afternoon. So yeah, my name is JP. So hold on. So my topic for today is tips on marketing your skills. So let me start on my presentation. So I have 5 gateways to market yourself. But before we proceed with that 5 gateways to market yourself, let me just read you this one. So having the right skills and experience isn't always enough to secure you the job. You must know how to market yourself effectively, to really get noticed. If you're hunting down your ideal job, you'll need to prove you have an excellent combinations of relevant expertise and strong communication skills. You'll need to unleash your inner salespersons to really catch a prospective employer's eye. So on this one, so it is really fine that we know that we have the right skills and experience if we wanted to land a job, but it is also important for us to know how we are going to highlight our skills during our application. So here are 5 great ways you can start marketing yourself. So for number one, it's identify a target audience. So understand your potential employers inside out. Do as much research as possible to help identify the ethos of the organization and the skills, personality, and knowledge they value highly. Use the job descriptions and person specification as a firm basis for their needs and try to work out how this role will fit into into the company's bigger picture. So like what we have always said, Daman, if ever um, it is really important that we know our that we research on the company that we are applying. Of course, for us to have the idea what kind of organizations, what kind of environment they have. So for us to know if our qualifications or if our skills really fit into that specific company. So it is important that we really identify a target audience or the specific company that we want to pursue. So number two is know your USP. So the term USP or the unique selling point is often banded around the sales and marketing department up and down the country. So understand your own USP. This is not just applicable for any businesses. This is also applicable for ourselves. Because knowing your unique selling point, it would help us, to highlight all the experiences, all the skills that we have. So it could be your specialist training or a unique combination of past experience and the personal interest. Once you've honed in on your USP, make sure that you let your future employers knows about it. So by understanding or by knowing what are your unique expertise or interest, um, especially when you think that is related to that company, it is important that you make sure that na malalaman nila, na ma-realize nila na, yeah, this person is really eyeing for this job by seeing the unique personalities that he or she has. So, number three, away with words. Ayan. Okay. So your terminology can be important when applying for a new role. Understand what key phrases and buzzwords are particularly sought after by potential employers in your industry. Certain jobs in specific sectors may look out for particular skills and training. If buzzwords genuinely apply to you, use them. So this is more on knowing the jargon or the words or understanding the words that the environment or the company that you are applying for. For example, in a BPO company, before you apply to that specific company, you must know what are the terms or the words or the specific communications that they use so that you're familiarized na on your own as an applicant on how things work, especially verbally when they talk about things and they mention about some sort of like instructions or specific discussions with you there. So number four, show a little personality. So don't be afraid to add a little flair and a personal touch to your applications. Nobody is solely a collection of professional skills, and employer may be keen to see a more human side. Your interests, passions, and personal skills will be part of the whole package. So don't forget to market yourself as a well-rounded individual. So apart from making our resumes or our applications filled with all the experiences, all the skills that we have, it is also important that during the interviews or during your virtual interviews, for example, with the recruiters or with the interviewers, it is also important that you show your personality to them, that you show interest by showing the body language to them as well. Kasi sometimes dahil sa super professional natin mag-isip or sa super focus natin dun sa job, nawawala yung personality, which is much better if tatapatan natin kung gaano kaganda yung applications. Dapat applications or yung resume natin, we need to make sure also that our personality as an individual is there during the interviews or during the process of your applications. Okay? So number 5 is keep your finger on the pulse. So keep up to date with any developments and news in your industry to ensure your knowledge is always relevant and well informed. Read industry publications, influential blogs, and websites. You may find they help to inform your answers or provide discussion points when it comes to the interview stage. So as part also of having all of those 4 tips that we have, we also need to make sure that we are up to date with all the information that is happening to that specific industry. For example, in a BPO company, is it one of the most demanding industry ba during this time? Or is it okay na dun ako sa ganitong industry, for example? So that you'll know, you'll figure out on your own kung saan ka dapat mag-take advantage. Parang ganon. So you need to make sure also that you are well informed with all the details, with all the news that is happening for that specific company or industry, for you to make sure that you are choosing the best, for yourself, and also that you are giving all of your ideas or all of your creative mind on that specific industry. So it's more on researching talaga. It's more on keeping yourself more involved to that specific industry, especially if you really wanted to land a job on that specific company. There. So there. Actually, that's all I have for my presentation today. Ayan.
Thank you, Sir JP, for your presentation. I think first time ko lang nakita itong presentation nyo na ito. To our viewers, we've had Sir JP to join us sa aming webinars. And actually, this is a unique topic then for me. First time ko makita Sir JP.
Yeah, actually
So,
ako din, Robert. Joke. So I really search for it for 2 days na kasi bago din siya, and it is parang the best time for us to share yung ganung kind ng topic, right?
Okay, sige sir. Doon tayo, sige sir. Since you mentioned na bago siya, ano yung na-realize nyo na naging challenging for you doon sa looking back, doon sa nahirapan ka doon sa tips mo? Halimbawa, put yourself in the shoes of yung sa FGAT. Ano din yung naging challenging for you?
I think for me, because, well, honestly, Robert, yung 4 years ko dito sa VXI is also my first job. So this is my first job as well. So maybe if I were to look back, way back when I was applying here in VXI, is that parang that time kasi like 5 years ago, gusto ko lang ng job, gusto ko lang ng work. Regardless kung ano yan, i-go ko na yan. Kasi like after college naman, that's all what we wanted. Pero I think siguro kaya ako nag-fail doon sa mga previous companies ko is because gino-go ko lang siya talaga. Like, sige na go, gusto kong mag-recruitment, ganyan, gusto kong mag-interview, gusto kong mag-sourcing, and I wanted this company. Pero it's more on really knowing pala kung ano yung core value ng isang specific na company kasi doon mo makikita yung self mo. Like, hindi naman ako magtatagal kay VXI, for example, for 5 years already kung hindi ko nakita yung potential ng growth and yung environment, kung gaano kasaya, kung gaano ka ka-supportive yung management. Siguro that's the tip that I could give sa mga youngsters natin, sa mga starters, na they really have, to make sure that they belong to that specific industry or company.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Sir JP, for answering yung question. Yun nga ang naging challenging. I think that's common naman para sa fresh grad. Kaya ako rin tinanong, baka kasi makarelate soon enough itong mga to. After they graduate. So keep that in mind, everyone. JP, I have here a question. How will the students, or rather what factors do consider for applicants to be able to explore opportunities outside their course? So marketing themselves
Mhm.
ikaw mas grabe dapat ang pag-market kapag
Mm.
going outside their course. Pero kaya yan. Ano ang advice na mabibigay nyo para sa ating viewers?
Well, for me, especially to our viewers na, starters or yung mga magagraduate pa lang this time, well, technically they don't have any parang experiences pa to share eh. So what they can highlight
Mm-mm.
na siguro during application is more on skills, more on what are those things that they accomplished during their college days. Well, actually hindi naman siya like for example sa bigger picture na big achievements talaga and all, because they can also relate how they surpass all the challenges that
Mm-mm.
they have during college, kasi like hindi naman lahat graduate with honors, right? So pero
Mm-mm.
yung highlighting yung parang yung passion ko to finish my college can be also applied to this specific job, because I
Mm-mm.
have the passion to alam mo yun, to give my contribution to society by highlighting, for example, my interest and my skills as well. So confident lang siguro, and again, katulad na sa presentation ko, it's more on personality. They have to make sure,
Mm-mm.
na madadala nila yung personality nila during the application.
Okay, thank you. I think itong next question, baka magamit mo yung factor nga na personality that you mentioned. Pero yung next question are, what are the key factors to consider if one would like to be an entrepreneur? Yan.
Well, for an entrepreneur kasi, or if you are, eyeing for a specific parang business on your own,
Mhm.
for me siguro it's really your making sure that every step of the way, reaching that goal is that you learn from those experiences. Kasi, well, kung i-compare mo naman siya sa BPO, for example, every time naman that well, we're working for our progress, right? For example, ako gusto ko
Mhm.
ma-promote after a few years. So if we are if you're going to compare that as an entrepreneur, syempre, as much as possible, we wanted our business to grow after a few years back. So from after a few years, for example, I think it's more on really making sure that every challenges and every opportunities that we have along the way, we were able to list down kung ano yung hindi tama nangyari, and how could I cope up with that moving forward. For example, I've experienced may experience ko ulit yung ganung kind ng scenario. So where it's more on a view mo lang talaga on how are you going to face yung mga darating na opportunities, regardless kung ano man siya, regardless kung gaano ka man magsasucceed or may hirapan at the end of the day.
Okay, so thank you for that. So yun ang option para dun sa iba if that's the career path that you are
Hmm.
looking into. Itong next question, I think there's a follow-up dun sa first question. So how to market the skills and get a job even when it's not connected to course. So I think it's very similar to the
Mm-mm.
question before. So baka may gusto kayo add from your first, yung
Well,
pag-answer sa question before. Sige, go ahead,
okay.
sir.
Well, sa akin naman, sorry Robert.
Yes,
Akin
go ahead.
kasi, based from my experience naman about it, I graduated actually, or I actually finished my college. Ang course ko is computer science. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, I'm nasa industry ako ngayon ng recruitment. Nasa recruitment industry ako. Siguro, like what I've mentioned earlier, it's not really particularly on what the courses that we took during college. It's more on our passion kung saan natin makita yung self natin. Kasi yung pag-take naman ng college is more on, or ng course is more on parang key card natin para makapasok tayo sa door
Mm-hmm.
ng bagong life, ganyan. So, once you have the key, you have the opportunity to choose between what you really wanted sa self mo, o yung mga personal interest mo talaga, or if you're going to apply those studies that you had during college. So I think ang aking lang dyan, advice or opinion is that you really know what your heart really desires after college. Kasi at the end of the day, it's what you wanted na mangyari, rather than going to that specific path na hindi mo naman siya gusto. So just follow your gut and your yung goal mo.
Okay, sige. In relation dun sa goal, bagay itong next question. Considering that madaming homegrown business nag-sprout because of pandemic, would you recommend them to take entrepreneurship path or employee path after graduation?
Well, for me, it's better katulad siguro nung nasa bullet points ko kanina yung number 5 that you really have to understand what kind of industry or what kind of job are really booming depending on the specific situation. Like for example, ngayong pandemic, of course we wanted to nasa bahay lang tayo naka-work from home, naka-work from home ganyan, or there are companies that offering work from home. And at the same time, if we wanted to be entrepreneur, we can sell products, right? So I think it's more on knowing what are the things that you are capable of during that specific scenario, and also yung demand ng industry. Parang ganon. So if you think to yourself na you can put up like a business at home, it's very fine because syempre sino ba naman gusto may boss, right? As much as possible, we wanted to stay at home with our family, to be safe and all. But at the same time, is it really booming at this time? Hindi ba parang masyado ng marami nagsisell ng ganyan or ganito? Pero it's really on looking kung ano yung perfect demand on that specific time. Then siguro that's the time na ma-identify natin kung ano yung dapat na decision natin. If I were going to be an employee, anong company kaya yung nagbo-boom ngayon? Anong industry kaya yung mas makikita yung potential ko? If I were to sell product or magiging entrepreneur ako, what kind of product kaya would I sell given na meron na ibang ganito, meron na ibang ganyan. So it's really more on searching searching on the possibilities talaga and keeping up to date kung ano nangyayari sa industries.
So, yun nga, noticing the trends parate, it's very good. Kapag business, dapat up to date ka dyan para makapag-innovate, adjust, if ever. Itong next question, Sir JP, it's a follow-up from the previous question. So, how do you balance being employed and doing your passion of being an entrepreneur at the same time? So, kung sabay, paano ang pag-balance nito?
Siguro kung sabay, diyan siguro papasok yung time management talaga. Kasi I do believe na as an employer or as an employee rather, I also have to make sure that I have yung parang backup plan. Like for example, everything went wrong sa employment ko ngayon, what should I do? Ganyan. So it's really nice. I mean that's a really good thing or idea that on top of our employment, for example, you are currently employed with one company, that you have a backup plan. Like meron kang side business ganyan or investment and all, but you have to make sure that you know how to balance your time and how are you going to make sure that both of those industries are being on track together given na pinagsasabay mo sila. So as long as you know to yourself that you can do both of that ng sabay, then wala namang issue ganyan. Basta you have to really be careful on kung gaano kabigat siguro yung side business na nagagawin ko. For example, ako like I'm working like from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. ganyan. So, yung magiging business ko ba dapat mapasok siya doon? Kakain ba siya ng maraming oras? Ganyan kasi nga yung 9 hours ko nasa office. So paano ko siya maasikaso? So, you have to really make sure that yung weight mo sa kanila kung pagsasabayin mo siya is manageable sa end mo. Pero that's a good idea na at least you know, we have set in mind na dapat lagi tayo may backup talaga, laging may investment.
Sige. Paano naman, Sir JP, if hindi siya maka-decide? As in, gusto ko mag-business, gusto ko mag-work sa office, anong masasabi niyo sa kanila na given the fact na sabi mo very important ang vision. So, anong masasabi mo dun sa hindi nga makapili kung ano ang path na gusto niya?
Siguro, mag-pray. Hindi, joke lang. Mag-pray, ganyan. Himingi tayo ng sign kay Lord, gano'n. Hindi. For me, siguro, time will really happen na darating talaga sa point natin kung ano yung gusto natin. Especially when we thought to ourselves na kung for this specific age na ako ganito, what would I have wanted after few years? Like, for example, ako like 21, ganyan, fresh graduate. After 5 years, how or where do I see myself? Siguro yon, ang advice ko is you have to make sure that yung goal nyo is something na ma-reach nyo and gusto nyo. Kasi better talaga na meron kang long-term plan, hindi yung like mag-decide lang ako ng gustong job ko. It is okay, it's very valid, parang valid na iniisip mo kung ano yung gusto mo eh. Kasi kailangan mo talaga mag-take time on that for you, of course, para pag binigay mo na yung self mo dun sa binili mong path, all in ka na kasi you have decided na yung ganong kind. Like if ever kung magiging employee ka or um, kung magiging entrepreneur ka, ganyan. So, I think it's more on setting your goal after 5 years from now kung ano na yung gusto mo. You know it naman to your heart kung ano yung passion mo, right, after 5 years. So, it's more on assessing yourself talaga on what you want after a few years from now.
Okay. So, thank you, Sir JP, sa pagsagot ng questions sa ating for our audience. Yun nga, very important marketing skills, whether business or whether sa you plan on working sa office. Marketing din ang self and product. Merong mga similarities tayong makikita dun sa presentation ni Sir JP. So, thank you very much for that. And para dun sa ating viewers who want to learn more about yung company ni Sir JP, go to jobs180.com/VXI. Sir JP, may pahabol. May pahabol na
Sure.
question. Lagay po natin to. Have an idea upon answering the question, but the thing is, I can hardly express my thoughts perfectly to what I am wanting to emphasize. In other words, I cram. Is there a skill that I have to memorize so that it would not be too long to make my own sentences, but rather straightforward? Thank you so much, Sir JP.
Well, thank you so much, Alejandro, also for the question. So I think based from our previous kasi I think I have this topic before na parang tips on how you ace a job eh. Ganyan. So it is really normal that we experiences yung talagang pag-express ng thoughts natin kasi sometimes we are very, keen na as much as possible yung grammar natin. Tama, ganyan. Kaya tayo nape-pressure. Siguro ang tip ko lang sa'yo is you really have to be confident during the interview. It's fine that you have grammar lapses and all because that are those skills that we can work on. For example, in a call center company, wala kang experience at all and you have like kinakabahan ka kasi fresh ka or starter ka. So those are the skills that we can train kasi. Alam mo yun, yes, it is hard to express our thoughts talaga during the interview, especially kung wala kang experience at all. Siguro, ang tip ko lang yan, like what I've mentioned earlier, is that you really have to be confident during the interview and don't mind about your grammar lapses. Kasi sa personality mo yan, on how are you going to deliver the words and how are you more parang yung enthusiasm mo how to say yung words, that would be fine na. So basta just be focused and wag lang ma-pressure. Well, andyan yan, valid na ma-pressure and all, pero we really have to come prepared every time we have an interviews.
Thank you, Sir JP. Dagdag ko na rin, hindi ako yung tinatanong, pero gusto ko sumingit to Alejandro. Regarding your question, ang tip ko naman for that is that it's okay sometimes na kahit na sobrang sanay ka na may times na siguro 1-2 sentences mawawala ka sa train of thought mo. I think an issue that I faced before is that kapag nangyari yon, okay na yung pagsasalita ako sa first half and then may time lang na nagkamali ako, mawawala na ako the rest of the way. So let's avoid that because it's important na consider it's okay. It happens then. And eto, kahit ako as hosting dito sa webinar, there are a few times na ang dami kong gusto sabihin, so hindi ko na relay ng maayos. But it's okay. I guess since I'm comfortable knowing that it's a possibility and then it's not the end naman if that's what I'm facing. So yeah. So singit ko lang kay Alejandro. Pa lang ako kay Sir JP. So, let's see if may hahabol pa na question. So thank you very much. It's a good question. Good way to ask nga yung situation that you have. So once again, babasahin ko ang Jobs 180 page nila Sir JP. So if natapos ako nang wala pang question, pwede na tayo mag-move on. Again, to learn more about the company of Sir JP, VXI Global Holdings, go to jobs180.com/VXI. Nandyan yan sa ilalim ng inyong screen. Scrolling, that's jobs180.com/VXI. So that's it. Thank you very much, Sir JP. Hope to have you again soon. And thank you. So this webinar, hopefully hindi na last. So thank you very much.
Sure.
See you soon.
Thank you also, Robert.
Okay, so that's it. That's it for us today. That's our third topic. So we are glad that we are able to share to you yung content ng webinar na to. So hopefully magamit nyo itong three topics, what you've learned as soon as possible. Magamit nyo na siya, ma-apply nyo na siya sa inyong ginagawa. So thank you again to the industry partners, yung dalawang companies na nagbigay ng speakers for us to join us here. And also, once again, we would also like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for this event. Get the latest fashion trends for your corporate attire needs. Check out CEO Store in Lazada and Shopee or the nearest mall in your area for career opportunities. Visit jobs180.com/CEO Group. So that's it. I would just like to make a final announcement. So once again, ulitin ko lang yung mga nabanggit ko kanina na that this video would be posted, yung recorded version of this live stream video will be posted sa aming Facebook page and YouTube page. Tingnan niyo na lang if meron kayong gusto balikan. Also, we have here your evaluation form. You can see, nandiyan yan sa comment section nyo. Kaka-post lang right now. Fill out the evaluation form. So, nandyan yung link that you will be using to give your evaluation. Okay, so that's it. So, thank you very much. I'm glad to be your host for today. And I would like to wish you good luck moving forward. Stay safe and goodbye.